What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Primetime Studios. Like always, I'm your host, Primetime Phil, and like always, my co-host, GameTime Bryan. What's going on, Bryan?
What's going on, Phil? What is going on, man? I'm ready. I'm well rested after the bye, and I'm getting ready for a good game against the Packers. How you been?
I've been good, man. I've been really busy this past week, but Cowboys are still always in the back of my head. There's always people talking about what the Cowboys are doing. There's either people talking crap about what they're doing as well. So no matter what, you can never escape it. It is a topic right now. So as we're going in, how are you feeling in general? Do you have that before? I know in the past with me, I have had this problem with Aaron Rodgers in general. When my girl first started watching, we were up, I think, by like 17 or so points. And she's like, well, that should be the game, fourth. I'm like, no, this is Aaron Rodgers. He has this ability to kind of to bring this back. And this is, of course, is a time where they still had a defense. And so now I feel totally different about this. I mean, obviously, Aaron Rodgers has done enough to us to cause it. But how are you feeling about Aaron Rodgers and his gameplay this year?
Listen, Aaron Rodgers, I don't care how bad he's playing. Yeah, he's hurt me more than once. Really bad, usually ending our season. He's like Jason or like Michael Myers. You can't kill this guy. So I'm looking to put a hurting on him tomorrow. I just hope that we pressure him, not let him play and pick our zone apart. Let's just attack Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, man. I'm definitely with you.
Until he's gone, he's gone. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, exactly. Then there's only a few of them left. But let's switch over to the chat as we got very early. Angelica Barone, which is great. I love it. She follows a lot of the same teams as I do, so I know great minds think alike there. Captain Taki, which is there to give me shit, and I love it. Definitely do that. I was laughing. I think you could even hear in the beginning opening where I'm like, Captain Taki's giving me shit. Mike Adana, what's going on? We them boys. Joe
Mike?
Gonzalez, Jojo, welcome. Anytime you can join in the beginning, it's always great. You get the chat going as well too. So Mary Alvarez was was in the chat with me in Mark's channel as you were doing your thing on his. I was trying to get stuff ready behind the scenes, but I mean, as I'm feeling good about talking about this subject. I'm feeling good about what this team has done with the defense. Obviously, defense. We said was going to lead this year. I can talk about this game. I'm hoping maybe you could follow it a little bit. But in the past, Aaron Rodgers has had this ability to, even though Dallas has been ahead, they've been able to come back and slowly come back. And it's because the defense wasn't able to put clamps on receivers and the offense wasn't continuing to score points, and it allowed Aaron Rodgers to kind of do his thing. So this year, I feel different about this defense, man. As we talked about with the Giants game, the Giants have the ability to come back at the very end of games, and that's something that this defense has been able to clamp on, and that's why you see the Giants with that one loss in the beginning was because this defense stopped that from happening. And I think even if something was that to happen again, I think this defense is good enough to stop them. But give me your take on this defense matching up with this offense.
Are we talking about the Green Bay defense?
Yeah. Well, Green Bay's defense versus. Oh, yeah. So I guess our offense.
Yeah. Well. Listen, at Green Bay, for as bad as they're playing, their defense is still ranked 11th in the league, and they only give up 19.2 points per game. Now they just lost Rashawn Gary, who's their starting end. He's literally their best pass rusher. But they have a couple guys. We can't just sleep on the fact that they're banged up. We need to go out and do what we got to do. As long as we're playing with tempo like we have been, I think we'll be fine. I think if we are huddling up, let's play tempo. Let's play tempo. Get on a roll. Get Dak comfortable. Get all the guys the ball. And it's really not about Green Bay. They're banged up enough to where I think we could take advantage of that defense.
Yeah, I'm feeling like I did going into
I'll,
the Chicago game, where I felt like there was a big mismatch in the sense of what this talent has, and as much as hey, you can game plan a lot, but the talent eventually comes out. So I think that's what you're seeing as well this year. I mean, Green Bay, unfortunately, doesn't have a weapon to throw to. I mean, the one guy that maybe could have been that was maybe Romeo Dobbs, and he's out. So. I mean, where does he go? I mean, Aaron Jones, is Aaron Jones even playing? I think he was last time I saw him.
Jones, yeah, I think he's going to play, but he's not 100%. He's going to be the guy that gets the ball out of the backfield. He's the guy that if he's not playing, that's huge.
That's huge.
For us. Huge.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think he's going to play. I don't think he'll be 100%. I think we're as much of 100% as we're going to be. We may get guys back. But with them, every week from here on out, it's almost like it's by attrition. You might lose somebody for a week. So now's the time. We're coming off a bye. We had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. Aaron Rodgers, they just lost a heartbreaker in Detroit. Now they're playing today, and then they play again Thursday. So it's a quick turnaround for them. If we beat them tomorrow, that's all but putting a dagger in them, and that's what I want to do. I want to end any hope because he's scary. I don't care. You give that guy life, man. He's gonna kill you. So let's take care of business tomorrow.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. I think when you're talking about the injury part, you see guys like Tyron Smith working on the bands, which is very good progress. You obviously see Anthony Barr as well, and so we were talking about it before the broadcast, and you mentioned, and you're probably going to see him sit out more. And of course, when you got a guy like Damone Clark really stepping up and going to make his first NFL start, I think you can sit a guy like Anthony Barr, and you pointed out very well, and I didn't really think about it, but he's possibly getting ready for that game the next following week against Minnesota to put a hurting on them. So I didn't even really think about that, but that was a great take on there.
Yeah. Let's see here. We got Captain Taki. We got Michael go down and run Green Bay's losing streak up to 6. Well, that's the idea. Just keep, because I don't care, man. That team, we'll get on a roll at some point. That's who they are. Let's just keep piling up them losses.
Yeah, I agree.
JoJo, our offense
Take
and
Cowboys.
our defense going to knock out Green Bay. Loyal Cowboys put Aaron Rodgers out of his misery. Aaron Rodgers, I touched on this briefly in Mark's. I was late, arriving for Mark's live. I would say this: all the niceties that are going on between Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy. Aaron Rodgers is the reason why Mike McCarthy was no longer the coach of Green Bay.
Yeah.
He wanted something different. He wanted something better. It's not all that. So our team's going to come out and play hard for Mike McCarthy.
I agree as well too. I think a lot of people, the narrative of the media have been like, there's such a heartbreak coming back to Lambeau Field. Like, they got rid of him. They pushed him out the door. So as much as it was great with the Super Bowl and all that, there is still a little bad blood there. And I like the fact that I think the media has been on this little slide to go, okay, well, this week is a trap game, and this week is a trap game, and this week is a trap. Well, every week in the NFL is just a trap game. I mean, every team is a professional team, and they got a salary cap. So it's a week to week league. You're right.
Really
you're right.
is.
And so when they keep saying it, they're like, well, eventually we're going to be right. So if we just keep pointing it out there, but when I look at this matchup,
almost like me and
the kick the turpin. It's going to be this week.
Right.
But
that's funny.
But when I see it, I look at the bigger picture. I like the fact that the team is getting involved as well. Getting emotionally involved into this game, so that it doesn't become a sleeper type game when you really want to put a hurting on the other team. So I think there's something to prove here. Last time we thought we could take it to them. With not as good of a defense, but you thought the offense was going to kind of push you. You were mentioning a really key guy for me, Jake Ferguson, was possibly going to be out. Why was that?
Yeah, he has the flu. It's not COVID. It really is the flu. And I think a lot of people are suffering from that. A lot of these sports teams, a lot of it has to do with the change of weather. It's here. I know it was like almost 80 degrees the other day, and then at night it drops down into the mid 30s. So he has the flu. He's a game time decision. I don't expect a lot from Jake Ferguson.
I think that same thing could be said for Zeke, right? Zeke's supposed to be a game time decision as well, and I mean, I wouldn't.
Fine, but look for Pollard to get
another one.
50-50, if not a little more. Yeah.
I mean, you think Zeke is going to be playing in the game?
Yeah. He's going to play, but I don't see. Normally, Zeke comes out.
He's that starter.
Start,
boom. Yeah.
But he might not get the start.
Yeah.
I have a feeling they're going to play
situational football.
Maybe, 55-45 Pollard.
Ooh,
is
Joe
fine.
Gonzalez says, I'm not sure who you're saying. I hope he does. He goes, we will be traveling with 4 running backs. So,
really?
maybe that just means they're probably going to rest him. They're going to still try to push him, try to get him into it maybe.
Yeah, well, he's wearing a knee brace. That's what they said for the rest of the year. So, just so he doesn't injure it anymore. As of now, it doesn't require surgery. He's feeling pretty good, but that's smart. That's if it doesn't hamper him that much, then wear the knee brace.
What's up, Mark Holmes?
Mark Holmes is in the house. What's up, buddy?
When we're going into the rankings, I think you were mentioning that. What exactly? Where is each one ranked? The offensive, defensive, Green Bay.
Yeah, the Green Bay offense, believe it or not, is ranked number 12 in the league with 26 points a game. Now, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, everybody wants to crap on Aaron Rodgers, and he didn't have a good game against Detroit. But he puts up numbers very easy. I mean, you don't want to sleep on this guy. That's why I was saying in Mark's chat, I said, I don't want to play this cover 2 zone, try and get there with our 4. I understand that we're going to not blitz that much, but I think it would behoove us if we put some pressure on him early, get them in a negative mindset, get some sacks, turn the field position. Because the longer this game goes, this isn't the Chicago Bears. If you're in Lambeau Field and this is going into the fourth quarter and it's a 1-score game, it's you're asking for problems.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to be aggressive on defense. But yes, they actually are 12th in the league in offense, and on defense, they are 11th.
So as we talk about that, because obviously it points to the fact that they could be above average on defense as well. I have to make the argument as well that maybe
a wounded dog, man.
Yeah. That maybe they haven't played great teams as well, and they've struggled against not great teams. If you look at their past couple of games, it's not been the hottest show, and it's not been against teams that have been a threat, really. So, I mean, take it what you will. Are they struggling against average teams? I'd probably say that more than anything. But at the same time, the stats say another thing as well, too. So, I think as well, I'm with you in the beginning of the broadcast where you say Aaron Rodgers, doesn't matter what happens, he will play this game. I mean, with that other guy on the other side of the field as well. But I think he just tends to play us very well in general. So, I mean, even if we get in the first half, I like our defense.
Very prideful.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
He does not want to lose to Mike McCarthy. He don't. So, he's like Tiger Woods, like Tom Brady. They're going to kill you with kindness off the field, and then they're going to want to beat the hell out of you, whether it's on the golf course or on the football field. He's gonna come out ready to go. So I hope Dallas is ready. This is the best possible situation we could be playing them in. We had the bye. They're banged up. They played. They lost. They got a Thursday night game coming up. This is the perfect storm for us. We should go in there and take care of business. But, I think it's going to be closer than it needs to be for a while. I really do. But ultimately, I think we're going to be okay.
I'm going to piggyback on what Captain Taki is saying here. He goes, the thing about the Packers that will work in our favor is that Rodgers kind of abandons the run and tries to sling it 70% of the time. And yeah, I mean, that is definitely would be going to our strengths and the sense of what this defense has been able to do. This obviously our weakness is obviously the run. Aaron Jones probably being more banged up. You could probably see it as well going that way. So I'm interested to see what this defense can do. I don't care what Aaron has done. He has not faced a defense like this year. And again, like I said, I keep saying about this defense, I have not seen a defensive front like this. It's just crazy. I mean, and then the fact that I was hearing that they were possibly picking up a former first rounder, right? Free agency. I was reading about that somewhere. I think it was in Carolina.
Who's
something.
that?
It was a defensive line.
Oh, really?
Actually, yeah, and so it was a former first rounder, and so I mean, you know, you take that with what you will. I mean, there's a reason why they're probably available. But,
right.
You know, I'm interested to see. I mean, this defense getting better is just kind of scary.
Yeah, our defense travels. We're going to be in the game. I expect us to win the game, but you know, every week, like we seem to have some. We let big plays up here and there. So I think Green Bay will score, especially being at home. That's a tough place to play. I expect it to be a closer game than what people think. Ultimately, I think we're going to prevail. But
who's their leading wide receiver?
Hope.
Like that's they have like what Leonard. Like I think that's
Lizard
Alan
something
like that.
Alan Lazard and Aaron Jones. That's why I said Aaron Jones being out. Huge, but I think he's going to play. So, I
don't think he trusts these
everybody
receivers.
thinks they're going to come out and try and run the ball. I don't think they will. I think they'll come out trying to throw the ball. I honestly do. Get the ball to the tight ends. We always seem to have a hard time covering tight ends, especially on Green Bay.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
screen passes.
Agree.
That's what I expect.
Well, I mean,
So
that's really all you gotta have. Go ahead.
Like if we get the ball first, or like if we win the toss,
God, I hate that.
Or are we taking the ball?
Well, I mean, I would want to. Obviously, my whole thing is every single time is I want to kick the ball. I want to let our defense, set the tone.
Yeah, that's what I would definitely would.
And I want the ball in the second half. I just think, I just don't know. I'm hoping they're losing the coin toss all the time, really, just because like when I hear that they win it and they took it, it's like really. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, I don't know. I understand the strategy of that.
The other team always defers.
Yeah.
And then the one time that we got the ball, we're like, we won the toss. So why are we doing that? It worked out. But, on the road especially, I think it's good to have the ball in the third quarter. It's going to be quiet. People are still walking around. I'd rather kick the ball off.
Yeah, the chat's with you a lot when they're talking about the fact that they think they're going to try to screen. They're going to just screen us to death. I mean, you could definitely see that. I mean, this pass rush is very, very, very fierce. So,
he's not going to have a lot of time to drop back. He ain't going to have much time to throw the ball deep down the field. His left tackle, Bakhtiari, is banged up. He's always banged up. He's banged up again.
Mm-hmm.
So they're hurting on the offensive line. That's just all goes into what I'm saying. They're going to try and get the ball out quick. And then that they're going to try and run the ball after they get a lead, if they get a lead. But I think Aaron Rodgers is coming out guns blazing. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it. I mean, it just
Diggs
takes a couple of plays. You know how
ready.
Anthony Brown allows that to occasionally happen. I think Diggs could definitely get an interception as well, too. I see our offense definitely being able to move the ball. I mean, I know their defense is pretty ranked, but I can see us still moving the ball. I don't really see anything on their defense that just scares me and goes, okay, we need to stay away from that side, or I don't see a corner over there that I'm just like, oh my God, we just need to stay away from that corner. I just don't see that, and hopefully we can kind of see exactly, because going into Chicago, I mean, Chicago had a more fierce defense that they moved the ball very well against, and that was not coming off of a bye week. That was just coming off of normal. Dak Prescott not being the starter for a while and coming off with some rust, and so now he has a bye week to come off as well too. So now last year, of course, coming off the bye week, there was it wasn't good. But I think this year, again, it's a totally different team. It kind of has that feel, the vibe to it, the swag that they've been kind of showing on their defense. The defense has definitely been leading. So I think the defense will definitely lead in this game, and I think our special teams could definitely get involved as well. I'm not saying Turpin, but man, Turpin's been close, hasn't he? There's been times where
he leads the league in return yards. He hasn't returned one. He should have had at least one.
Yeah,
he tripped over his own feet the one time, but he's gonna be fine. I mean, that's all we want is good field position.
So as we as we're talking about this, what do you guys on the in the chat? What do you guys think about this defense? Do you think this offense can move the ball easily? Do you think we'll struggle a little bit? Do you think it's going to be more in Kellen Moore? What do you see happening in this game? I'm interested to see what they got to say. And Mike, they need to set the tone early. I mean, yeah, setting the tone early is definitely on the defensive side of the ball and running the ball down their throat. I mean, just I like how this team runs the ball. I really do. I mean, it looks really nice.
Looking at the weather, it's going to be 32 at kickoff. So there's no rain, and wind is going to be minimal, which is key. So just looking at the weather, it's going to be a nice, crisp night, but it won't be any colder than that because of the wind. Like I said, the wind's only going to be like 3 miles an hour. So, but yeah, it's a little chillier, but that's perfect football weather. There's nothing, no wind, no rain. So no excuses here. It's time to go. Listen, if you would have told me at the beginning of the year that we would be 6-2 at the bye with Dak, I would say yes, absolutely. The fact that we lost Dak for 5 games and still 6-2, that says a lot. Man, so
there's a lot of guys in there too.
I think it's big. I think it's big tomorrow to get a win, because you get a win tomorrow, now you roll into Minnesota with we're guns blazing. We can absolutely win that game. If we should lose that game, we've already got the split, and then we come home for 3 straight home games. So I just want to win tomorrow and then go into Minnesota guns blazing, cool. Let it all hang out. And if we win them both, then it could be a really nice season.
Cole Cowboys has this, yeah, he says he's winning by 20. And you know what, Cole? I am very close to where you're at there. And so before we go and talk about scores and everything, we got to jump on it. And I know it's not about Green Bay, but we got to talk about it because obviously we have not talked about it. What do you think about the OBJ possible rumors and talk and Jerry Jones and of course Stephen Jones and what do you think? I'm not saying it's signing or anything like that, but what do you think about what's been happening so far?
OBJ, this is the bottom line when it comes to him. Everybody in the organization has come out, including Jerry Jones, even Catboy, Zeke,
Micah,
CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, Micah Parsons. They all have come out. Ownership involved. If he passes the physical, he's going to be a Cowboy. There's no doubt in my mind at this point. I'll be curious to see the contract, but he wants to be a Cowboy. Yeah, he wants a longer term deal, so the whole thing hinges on the physical. If the physical is iffy, they still may try and get him on a 1-year deal, just for the balance of the year. But I don't think he's going to go for that. I think he's going to want a longer term deal. I think that if we want him, we will get him. It's just a matter of if we want him. Seems like they do, Phil. I think that's a good piece.
Yeah,
I'd rather have
agree.
him than.
I definitely agree as well too, because one thing
out of Houston.
Yeah, one thing I haven't seen with our wide receivers is being able to get open, getting separation from the corners in man coverage. And when you get into the playoffs, you're definitely going to be going against man coverage. And so you need to be able to make separations. It's just something, you got guys like Gallup that, you can throw the ball on the sideline. He's going to make it even if he has the coverage. Nothing wrong there. You go... CeeDee Lamb's going to, I want to see more consistency from him.
It just makes everybody better. It makes everybody better. Phil, the spacing on the field is better. We don't have to rely on our lower tier. Shout out to Noah Brown. He steps in when we need him. We'll make a good third down catch. But if you have OBJ on the field, you got to pick your poison. Okay, he may not get more than 40, 50 yards, but he'll get you a touchdown every game. That's just what he does. So what are you going to do? You going to double OBJ? Probably not.
Yeah, well, I think
then now CD's going to eat you up.
Yeah,
and then we have Gallup that can run downfield like we want and make those circus catches on the sideline. So it just makes too much sense. I like the more humble, quiet OBJ these days. He wants to settle down. So
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go on the opposite
Let's
side.
go,
Though.
man.
Let's go on the opposite side. We're going to go to Glimmerman here. He says, don't care about OBJ. If he wants a simple prove-it deal, then take him. No long-term. Maybe 2 years, but not 20 per year. Can he still separate?
He's
wrong.
not getting 20 per year.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I have,
Look
I
for
have a doubt as
something
well.
like a 3 year. Look for like 3 year, 35 mil with maybe 23 guaranteed, like something like that.
Yeah, that's not a bad one.
8 year guarantee.
I just, Glimmerman probably has he understands more in the sense like, yeah, I mean, that first year coming off the ACL tears and stuff like that, that's, you're not usually yourself and making those great cuts and everything like that. But again, compared to what we have on the roster, I think he can definitely add another level that.
You know what it is, Glimmerman? My opinion, this is what it's about. Everybody at Jag Glimmerman, it's about we're not the favorite to come out. Well, me and you can think that Dallas is going to ultimately be in the Super Bowl, but for the most part, we've addressed our team through the draft. We have a very young, the third youngest team in the league. To add a guy like this without having to give up anything but just a little bit of money, and that's a beautiful thing. And I want to be that team. Listen, I want to be stubborn. Everybody's talking about the Eagles. Let's get OBJ, and now that's going to piss off the Eagles more because it's going to be like, oh, hold up, we're 9-0, and you guys aren't talking about it. Sorry, I had somebody at the door.
You don't know, you don't know you're broadcasting. But I'm with you. I think it's worth the between 10 to 16. I think that's where I would be. I'd be okay with. And I would be okay with the 3 years. I mean, because honestly, when you see these kind of deals, do they ever really, by a certain year where you're talking about 23 million guaranteed. But that means by the second year,
that's what I'm looking at.
You can walk away, and in that third year, it kind of voids the third year.
Well,
and that's what you kind of have with these contracts.
Like a 3 year deal, but it's the balance of this year and 2 more. Mm-hmm. So that's, to me, if I was the team, I would want to do that. I wouldn't want to, because he's not going to be now what he will be next year and the year after, and he's only 30. And you could get him for, I'm saying, $8 million a year guaranteed. Now that's including this year. So if you want to chop that in half and say, well, okay, the half of the season is gone, so that would be 4. So then that would be, like $10 million a year for the next 2 years. You know what I mean, or something like that, or so.
So we got over
I'm
here.
all
Brooklyn
for
Joe
it.
comes in and says incentive based with the Gerald McCoy knee clause, kind of where they were able to walk away. I just think that the offers from other teams will just
Here's
be
the deal.
The plus
Brooklyn Joe,
and he would be able to walk away there.
It's all going to come down. Dallas has some of the best doctors and trainers in the whole league. They aren't stupid. I think what you need to do is you put them through a rigorous physical. You're going to know. They're going to know. They're going to do the scans. They're going to know exactly where he's at. And they're going to know, especially because Michael Gallup is recovering from the same thing. Yeah. They're going to know. Now, the good thing is he's already came back from one of these already in his career, and he excelled. So let the doctors look at him. If he's damaged goods, then I don't want him. It sucks, but thanks, but no thanks. If he passes the physical, we have to not worry about the knee at that point. He may be slow until the playoffs. That's all I care about anymore. I don't really care now. Get him. That's all it is. Let the doctors look at him. That's why it's going to be another week or 2 before we even go down this road, because he's making sure he wants to be in Dallas. He's making sure his knee is as good as it's going to be. And he knows if it's not, Dallas isn't going to give him the money, and he may have to go to Buffalo.
Glimmerman says $7 million.
Eagles.
Yeah, Glimmerman says $7 million I would do, but what does that say to Lamb? I don't know what it. The thing about it is, I don't think you need to say anything to Lamb. Lamb needs to still step up. I mean, he has not proven that he can take that number 1 receiver pay. And he's going to go to somewhere else. it's you
Lamb
can't
made a
ransom
comment
yourself.
that he's all in on OBJ.
Yeah.
So,
So I mean, I can't.
Lamb's gonna make his money.
I want to see. I think it'd just benefit Lamb. But yeah, I can see where maybe some animosity are there that you're talking about. But I don't.
Salary cap's gonna explode.
Yep, that's
right.
Know? Exactly. Yeah, fuck the Eagles. Yeah, get Odell Beckham and don't let him leave
Eagles
signing a deal. That's how you kind of have to
get Odell in Dallas and don't let him leave without signing a deal. Yeah, Coles. Like I said, our doctors are gonna look at him. If he comes out of it, then that's what they're gonna do. I'm telling you that's all eyes are on Odell. Odell wants to be here. Where there's smoke, there's fire. This isn't one of those.
Does he
I want to fuck up Dallas, so I can get a bigger deal somewhere else. That's not happening. I mean, he can go somewhere else. That's going to be because his knee isn't where it needs to be, and somebody else is willing to roll the dice more than we are.
Yeah, I mean, I think between you got some guys that you can put pup people, you can put IR people, and I think between Gallup, OBJ, and James Washington, you can have something there going. Yeah. With the circulation of injuries and the guy coming in and playing for you, and then he gets hurt, and the other guy's coming off. You might have some kind of like juggling act here. But so let's go back to our
Glimmer
product,
Man.
because
you got Glimmer Man. Oh my God, Gallup and OBJ healthy in the playoffs. Tyron coming back. Lamb in and Peters maybe a perfect storm.
That's what I'm
Listen,
saying. You got a nice
that's
depth.
one thing we could talk about real quick. There's a big. I don't know why it's a controversy. It's a great thing to have, but if Tyron Smith can come back this year, that's unbelievable. He's literally one of the best left tackles in the league. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. His play hasn't dropped off that much. He just can't stay healthy. But when healthy, he needs to play and slide over to Tyler Smith. He's a very smart kid. He's already had all training camp at left guard, and then go from there. That just makes our defense. You got McGovern who's going to be a backup. Awesome depth. I don't know what's going to happen with Peters. Hopefully he hangs around.
Just depth.
So
you just have him as depth. Yeah,
that's a good thing.
I like it. I as well too. I mean, I would definitely bring him back as well too. Give him that final push, because honestly, this might be his final push for a Cowboys type of Super Bowl. With his contract being what it is, whether he takes.
Wouldn't that be a nice way to go out?
I'm saying, man, that would be you would
that would be a great way to go out.
So I see him doing the bands, so I get excited about it. I really feel like, there's some people here. I mean, you got Damone Clark as well. You got Bland on the secondary that's going to
Damone's playing tomorrow, big time.
Yeah, and so, I mean, there's a lot of guys.
Damone's
you got Turpin,
playing.
you got a kicker that's actually doing pretty well, doing extra points. You don't have to get so nervous about the extra points. He's definitely
Money Maher's
nice,
back.
You got a quarterback that's getting on a rhythm and hopefully continue. You got a Kellen Moore that's getting other people involved. I don't know whether it's people in his ear or
slow down.
I know, but I've been quick to jump on him every single time, and I've had to give him credit for the past two games. So
he's tried to screw it up.
And I agree.
He's tried to screw it up.
So as we talk about this Green Bay game, guys, what do you guys think the game score is going to be? Who do you think is going to win? Who do you think maybe something standing out that you think will happen that hasn't happened all through the season? Or, what do you think is going to happen in this game? Give me your predictions. Go ahead. What are you talking about? What do you want to bring up subject-wise?
Well, I want to see what people have score-wise, but, just looking at the second half, I want to see where the Eagles are going to stumble. Is it going to be this Monday night? It's a shame it's in Philly. It seems like every tough game is in Philly. I would love for them. I told this to Mark during the live the other night during the ugly Atlanta Falcon Thursday night game.
Oh my God, that was disgusting.
I said, all I want for Christmas is the Eagles to lose one, and us be one back. Or I just want to be one game back when we play them on Christmas Eve. That would be all I could ask for. Could you imagine? They're talking undefeated.
Yeah.
If they stumble, and then look, we're only one game back with the game in Dallas, and if we win, we're in first. Merry Christmas, Philadelphia.
All right, so that's where I'm going to cut you off with Philly talk. We're going to stop talking about them through this season, because honestly, like I want to prove.
No, man.
I understand, but at the same time, it's just we'll go on a big rant about it, and we can't change people's minds, and it doesn't matter what you point out to them. And so I just kind of feel like it's a useless topic. We all kind of know where he's at.
I'm just telling you what I want. I want to be down one game. That's all. And so we can take it away from him. That's all.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely with you as well too. But good team. It's just a good team. But when you look at this one, I mean,
Brooklyn Joe.
I'm interested to see. I like what you're pointing out with some of these guys coming back. The depth that within this line that could possibly be. Putting McGovern back to backup would be good. Maybe even they would still start whooping them right back into that fullback position like they were before. But I like the fact that they were doing some end around type things to where they were making. Safeties and linebackers have to worry about Turpin coming around the corner and then giving it to the running game. So I like them putting that in. Yeah, I mean the fact that Ferguson might be possibly out might mess with the 12 personnel type of thing that they've been pushing a little bit more of. But I mean hopefully they just continue.
He may play.
Yeah, well, I mean
he still could possibly play. He's just an illness, so I would say rest him. You have good tight end.
Yeah, I agree.
Get Dalton Schultz.
So we got Glimmerman predicts that Dallas is going to be 31, Pack 13. He goes, I think we will give up something in the first quarter, and then stiffen up after that. Take the game. I hate this. Last time I did this was the Eagles game and we lost. But I mean, it's understandable. I mean, again, what we had at that game. I'm not going to make excuses, but the fact that I love what our backup did at the beginning of the season and was able to give us some nice wins when we really, really needed them, and continue it on and still put us as a team to make even if everything was a draw the way that it is right now. I mean, we're still in a great spot going into the playoffs. And I like this team. I mean, I feel better about the backup quarterback position. I mean, I did not feel that way going into the season. I'll definitely tell you that shit. I was not, before the year before, Cooper Rush was kind of my guy.
Good experience.
Yeah, my Cooper Rush was kind of my guy last year, but this year I was definitely not feeling Cooper. But I got to give him credit, man. He's definitely done well.
I'm not a huge Cooper Rush fan, but how can I argue 5-1? I can't. I don't care who you play. I can't argue it. He did good. I mean, not to be negative, but the offense really, really slowed down. I mean, that puts a lot of pressure on that defense. You see with Dak back, what he's been able to do, especially last week. Mm-hmm. He's just,
And that was against a better defense, really, honestly.
Risky throw at times, but...
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm right there, though, with my prediction. I'm right there close to Glimmerman. I think that the Dallas Cowboys are going to win 34-13. I definitely take us kind of just going, and I don't know if it's going to be a stumble in the beginning or whatever, but I think our offense can definitely get going in this game. I think, I'm with you in the sense whether it's early or late. I think Aaron can get a touchdown cheap here and there. I just think this defense is definitely something he has not faced, and I like it because we've always had a crappy defense going against Aaron Rodgers. Let's just be real, and so it's nice to go in there with some freaking weapons and really feeling that you have the advantage. So I'm really liking the score.
Defense travel.
So I appreciate
defense travels, and I think that we're gonna be fine.
So are you gonna whip it in and get into the mail box and see it? I get Angelica has it 30 to 17.
Angelica Barone, 30 to 17.
Yeah, I like
this
it.
This is what I got.
Like I still like it. Do you feel it being close? I mean, I could see it also being close. I mean, this is the NFL. Like we said. I mean, you never know when a team's just gonna start. Wham, wham, wham. He has this thing. Okay, look, man. On the first drive, I'm gonna do this exact play, and I'm gonna throw it to you. And he already has it predetermined. So if you see something like that, but it's as defenses adjust. So go ahead.
What's up, Gina? I see the game starting out a little bit tighter up until the half. I see us with a slight lead at halftime. Nothing big. If it's big, then this could be handshakes at halftime. It could be a blowout, but I don't see a blowout at halftime. I do see us extending the lead in the third quarter, but I think Rodgers comes back to make it close at the end. The line is Dallas. It actually started out
changed.
Dallas minus 5.5. It's down to 4 in a lot of places. So I guess they're looking at, you know, in Green Bay at home, there's a lot of Dallas haters out there. You give me the 5.5 points, you lose by a field goal. You know what I mean? You know, you're getting 5.5 points, or you know. But I have Dallas 27, Packers 20.
Okay.
Like I said, I think it's going to be like a 27-13 type situation, and Aaron's going to score a touchdown late. It'll be Dallas minus 4 and over the over/under 44. You know, I mean, a lot of people that I trust, you know, like in the Dallas organization that I hear, Brian Broaddus, Nick Eatman, a lot of them are talking a lot less points being scored.
Yeah, understandable.
But I just don't see that. I mean, I see Dallas having a bye week. You know, this team is beat up in Green Bay. I see them scoring. I see Dallas scoring. It could be more than that, but I think you'll see some field goals. And I think we're going to look good. And I think Aaron will get a cheap touchdown at the end to make it, you know, one score. But we'll cover it. That would be nice.
Cole says you're playing it safe, Brian. You're playing it safe, man. See, Cole says that he thinks that the game is going to be 49-17, and that Jordan Love is going to actually finish out the end of the game. So I'm definitely liking what he's got going on.
Well, listen, I'm saying 27-13. You know, I don't know how safe that is, and then he gets a cheap garbage touchdown. But you know,
like Green Bay like gets their butt whooped that butt.
Oh no, we suck again.
I hope Coles is right though, because that'll be a fun game to watch.
No, it would. It would definitely put it on the DVR. I'm gonna like that. So we got football early in the morning with a Germany game.
See, I'm a Glimmer man.
What does Glimmer man say?
I'm a Glimmer man.
I can see us coming out flat.
I see us coming out a little flat.
And that's the problem
that's
with
why
this team, is that you could always see any game with this team coming out flat. Even with the Chicago game, as they came out 4 drives in a row.
7-0.
Yeah, 4 drives in a row that they had in Chicago. I mean, that was a surprise. I mean, you could have easily seen this team going flat. So I mean,
you can't do that against Aaron Rodgers.
No, and that's the problem. You can't. And you're right. If you keep it very close, I mean, it could be definitely bad for us. Hold on, let me see here. Okay, well, my girl just let me know she's leaving Verizon. Like she's having problems, having issues. But
manifesting. Speaking of manifesting, I gotta watch some more episodes of Manifest after we're done tonight.
Oh man, I was talking to Bryan here about watching some of these movies like Black Adam and Black Panther, and I'm like, I haven't seen any of these things, and I need to go out there. I need to get life again.
My kids keep telling me.
Yeah, so
I know what it is. I just wanted a deal where I haven't watched them.
So we're gonna see what's gonna happen for this possible Washington game at the end of the year. I mean, I'm gonna hope and see if I can possibly make it out there for you, to tailgate with you guys. So I mean, I know there's a big plan for that. So it'd be nice to actually meet you guys in person. But I like that everybody, when you see a lot of it, you see a lot of Cowboys victories. I was planning something in January just today about a soccer tournament for the little one, and so when it came up to January and she's talking about the weekend, I was like, well, there's a possibility that I might be broadcasting. And why? Because the Dallas Cowboys have a possibility of being in the playoffs because of a defense and definitely looking, when you look at the rest of the NFC, I mean, Captain Taki gave me crap, and like he always does, which I like. He's giving me crap saying, hey, man, we're talking about the Eagles because guess what? They're the only threat that we have really right now. And he might be right. And so, like Brian and I've been saying, there's a possibility that we're going to be facing each other 3 times in this season. And that third time is really what's going to matter. So yeah, I mean, I get it. I will allow it. I will. But because especially since the mailman over there has to deal with it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
We're gonna change some things up here as well too.
Yeah.
I'm going to obviously Thanksgiving. We're gonna have our Thanksgiving to talk about the game. We're gonna the day after Black Friday. Hey, it's more in the evening time, so the deals should have already happened. If you guys didn't get your deals out by 7 o'clock in the afternoon, you're just way too late. Just wait till Cyber Monday. So we'll have the broadcast obviously on the day after, so. There's going to be some little changes. There might be something towards the end in December as well, too, because if I have Kyle Yeoman coming on, I may switch it to a day that he's more available. I know he does broadcasting for high school, and then, he's basically busy during the weekends.
That should be done now, soon.
So
another couple of weeks.
So we'll see what happens as well too. I mean, we're going to get a couple of ourselves, and then we'll come back around. We'll swing back around after we have a couple of our broadcasts to ourselves, and then we'll have guys like I love having Cole's Cowboy on here, and definitely bringing on people. I love having you guys in the chat as well talking about it. You got Micah down there saying a 35-21 offense defense eats. That would be a nice little cheese fest right there.
I was flirting with 34-20, but I'm gonna stick with 27-20, 31-20. I just got my internet is unstable.
See, mine here and there. Mine seems to know when the broadcast is gonna happen. So it usually always does that. But Angelica, go Knowles. I'm watching my Ducks and my Knowles as well. I got 8 o'clock. The Knowles going. So football's in the air, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving the fact that going into this Cowboys game for the Green Bay Packers with a positive. I'm feeling really good about the team, and of course, like you guys say as well too. I mean, this is a week-to-week league, and they could go the opposite way, like out of nowhere, and that's just how it goes in this league. So I mean, you saw, of course, the Chiefs struggling as well, but I don't see it because I see this defense. Even when you take people out to stop, you got other people stepping up. You have guys that are stepping up that have no name within, and then by next week they're on Fox as a special because they're talking about how he had like a 4-sack game or they caused 2 fumbles that got to score. So, or Turpin all of a sudden, brings 2 back like he did in that one game, and now there's a special on him. So I think there's a lot of stars within this team at every single level. And I like that. That's all you can ask for, going into a playoffs and the depth that you have behind it. So anything that you would like to say before we jump off that? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think if piggybacking off of what Mike is saying in the chat, let's get this one from Mike McCarthy. I think more than anything, this is what they do. I want them to go out. I like the coach. I like Mike McCarthy. He's a good guy. I like how he has his hands on everything, but he lets guys do their job. He got a raw deal in Green Bay. Not so much that he wasn't the coach anymore, but it's how it went down. It's the quarterback goes in the office, bitches him out, and says, "I want a new, head coach." I would love to see our guys go out and fly around the ball, really hit Aaron Rodgers, cause a couple turnovers, and win the game, like Cole's saying. But I'll take a win anyhow. Let's get a big win. I think that'll get everybody. Yeah,
I like how Mike McCarthy handles Jerry Jones. I mean, a lot of people ask, how do you do that? He lets Jerry do his thing, and then like 15-30 minutes later, he does his interview, and he kind of just counters it. So. So yeah, I mean there's nothing there. I mean, you guys could say different things, and Jerry doesn't think twice. Jerry counters himself sometimes. So it's nice to see that I like the culture. I think again for me, when I look at his past record in Green Bay, obviously I looked at all those times that he was in the playoffs. They were in the hunt. That means they were there. And so I just hope that we can keep a guy like Dan Quinn to just stay here for a long time and just be our defensive coordinator and. That would be amazing. And
Rhonda Lovely.
What's that? Oh yes, Rhonda. Hey,
Rhonda Lovely. Yeah. What's up, Rhonda?
How you been? So I mean, yeah. So I'm all for it. So Mike McCarthy, I'm definitely on board. I love the swagger that he's gone. The guys that he's gone, and gotten. Like obviously Parsons coming here, he's definitely changed that culture.
I just want to see the team rally around the cause.
Curse.
I want to see them rally around
One of my
Go
favorite.
get one for your coach.
Yeah, one of my favorite defensive
You know,
guys
that
is
would be
Curse.
cool.
Is Curse. He's a big dude. He just has this thing about him in that defense, and so I like that what he's brought to this thing. I'm surprised really with them putting this team together with a young team with the draft. Not obviously I'm with you, man. I want to spend some money on some guys to bring in here to change that little push that we need, whether it's on the offensive line that we're having struggles with.
Attitude. Like, we need that. Like, I'm tired of being everything has to go right, and we will be in the game, but everything has to go right with our young guys.
Yeah.
No, I want to add a couple studs and get an OBJ. We'll go in that direction. Do a big game, a third down. Dak, he drops back. He's got another guy to get the ball to.
Yeah.
In those tight games, the windows get smaller. These average receivers don't get open, and Dak's holding the ball. It's not good.
Yeah.
We need another weapon. Hopefully he's healthy. If he is, let's get it done.
All right.
Going to help the squad.
And I like that. I think that's the way we should end it. I got to thank everybody for coming on. Of course, you guys are amazing. You guys have amazing input as well, too. I really like. I mean, you guys have been very close with the scores. And, I think it's just, like you said, man, it's a week-to-week type of league. And I liking how, as we went into, think about this when we went into it while Dak was coming back, that little, he wasn't, he didn't need to be elite, and that's what we were talking about, but he did a good job, and so you saw him kind of step up, do a little bit more the next following week. So, I'm interested to see what the offense in general and how this team just keeps maturing. So I'm loving the way and direction that they're going. I like always. Bryan, I appreciate you coming on, man. We're gonna be within these chats where you're jumping on Mark's channel.
We do, man. That's what we do.
Yeah, and so
yeah.
So you'll see us popping up, guys. So don't fear there. We're always in your face and being a pain in the ass, especially Bryan over there. So with that, I am going to.
I tried not to talk as much.
No, man, you did great. I told him last week as he was talking, I was like, yeah, I need you to kind of take it more. I had a long week, and it was nice to, that's what nice thing about partnering up, man. So I appreciate
Sometimes
it a lot.
they talk too much.
We're passionate, dude. There's sometimes where that's how it is. Sometimes there's a subject that just gets us going, and that's how it's going to be with all of us. Sometimes I'll go in a circle, so I find that out. So again, I appreciate everybody. I appreciate you guys watching it on the replay. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think the score is going to be, or what off the chain thing is going to happen within the game. I really like what our defense could possibly do against Aaron Rodgers, but of course, I see the screens as well too. So again, let me hit you with the ending video, but don't forget to always ring that bell.
Hey, we know each other. He's a friend from work.
What you do, you're like a little screw loose type of guy, and I thought that's how I am. So I'm digging it, big guy. I am.
Who are you?
You.
No, not me, you.
Yes, I am you.
Just answer the damn questions. Who are you?
GameTime Bryan, otherwise known as the mailman here,
Cool name. Superpowers?
broadcasting from the illustrious Jobu Studio.
Come on, are you gonna tell me who that is?
Primetime Phil, and of course my co-host, GameTime Bryan.
Oh, Jesus Christ, this place is going to explode. $100,000, I don't even need to hear it.